From Kern Government Television, welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting, originating from the County Administrative Center located at 1115 Truxtun Avenue, Bakersfield, California. Kern County's vision is to create and maintain a customer-centered county government designed to garner the confidence, support, and trust of the people we serve. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Here we go. Okay, good morning. Board to reconvene. Madam Chair, would you please call the roll?
Supervisor Gleason.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Here. Thank you, Kathy. Good morning and welcome to the Tuesday, January 28th, 2020 meeting of the Board of Supervisors. We will begin today's meeting with a flag salute led by Bill Walker, our very own, Director of Behavioral Health and Recovery Services. Following the flag salute, please remain standing for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer. Please stand.
Salute, pledge.
Thank you. I would like to call Mr. Nick Colin out, please, Director of Animal Services, to come out with our Pet of the Week. And you're going to love this. Can you hear me, Kathy? Yes. I love polka dots, and pink polka dots are the utmost. Look at this precious baby. Look at this raggedy little doggy. Isn't she so cute? Look at her. Hey there, look. This dog needs a forever home. I love, love, love that we instituted Pet of the Week under former Chairman Couch. You did a great job. But here we are continuing our incredible legacy of not forgetting our four-legged friends that have been so good to us. You are, no, none of that. Okay, so we hope that one of you will find it in your heart or somebody watching to make this doggy a member of your family. Nick?
So I brought with me this morning Hazel. Hazel's about a 7-month-old. That's a puppy. 7-month-old terrier mix. Like I said, her name is Hazel. She's already spayed. She's ready to go home. She's adoptable today. Her adoption fee is just $85. She's going to make somebody a really good family pet.
Thank you, Nick. Okay.
Come on, sweetie.
Thank you, Nick. Agendas for today's meetings are located at the tables at the back of the chamber for anyone wishing to follow along. We will begin by considering the consent agenda. All items listed with a capital C, capital A for consent agenda above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item or items on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken on the consent agenda. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in its listed sequence, with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. A member of the public may also comment on any closed session item. Consent items begin on page 2, and they include items 2 through 5 and item 8. On page 3, items 9 through 11. Item 12 has been withdrawn by the department and will not be considered. Items 13 through 16 are on consent. On page 4, items 17 through 19 and items 21 through 24. On page 5, items 25 through 32. And on page 6, item 33. Are there any members of the public that would like to comment on consent matters? If so, now is the time to do so.
Good morning, David Fluhart, Havilah 1st District. I'm talking about closed session item number 34, conference with labor negotiators. When I first started coming here, it was not very often that this many things were going on. It was occasional. Often one or two entities were being discussed at the time, and whenever we saw this many issues between employees, it was at the budget hearings or around the budget hearings time. Nowadays, 7 years later, it's like every meeting, everybody, all at the same time. And it's a big issue, and we're going to have a lot of our problems in the future with the pensions and whatnot. And I just want to suggest, when you're looking at a solution, don't think narrowly, reducing down to a solution. Try and widen your options and make it a solution set. Make it a bigger issue. Okay. You've seen that show, American Pickers? They try and bundle things together. Try and bundle the solutions together. Okay, that's the way it's going to work. And I really wanted to bring this up 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago is, I do believe, consent agenda item number 23, but I couldn't get through the front door at 2 o'clock. Literally, I was sitting there at the doors talking to the deputy saying, hey, I'm just going to walk down to the podium. It's going to be under consent agenda, and I'm going to walk back out. Okay, I feel like that's an infringement. Okay, and probably, I don't know, maybe the fire marshal let too many people in. I don't know. So that would actually kind of lead to number 37, which is anticipated litigation. So I don't know. I'm not going to talk about that, and I probably talked too much, but think a solution set, not narrow solutions. Okay. Thank you. Hope you have a good meeting.
Thank you. Any members of the board want to comment on any of the consent items? Okay, seeing none, I will entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Okay, motion carries. Moving along, under resolutions and proclamations, item number 1, resolution honoring Nancy Anderson, County Administrative Office, for her 23 years of unparalleled, remarkable, and brilliant leadership.
Motion on resolution.
Madam Chair, if we vote no on this, does it mean she can't leave the employment of the county?
I'm glad you brought it up, Supervisor. That was brilliant.
I'll
Yeah.
reluctantly second the motion.
It's painful, I know. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 opposed. Supervisor Maggard.
Thank you, Ryan, for being here. Madam Chair, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to offer this resolution honoring one of the true unsung heroes of Kern County. So let me take a couple minutes to explain why Nancy has been such a valued asset to Kern County and the people watching, and talk a little bit about what she's done and what she means to our county and the quality of life that we enjoy in Kern County. Nancy began her career as an accountant working with the Auditor Controller County Clerk Department in 1997. She doesn't look that old, but I guess she is, I don't know. In 2011, Mrs. Anderson was appointed to the Assistant County Admin Officer for Budget, Finance, and Compliance. Most recently, she's been upgraded to or appointed as the Chief Operating Officer. Her leadership was instrumental in the development and implementation of short-term and long-term strategic planning to promote fiscal stability, best practice policies for debt financing, budgeting, compliance, and development of a budget that reflects the county's commitment to meeting the highest principles of government budgeting and serves as a clear and comprehensive policy document for us to follow. She's been a role model to her immediate staff. She's been an invaluable member of the leadership of the county, and I could go on about her, and I will. But first, I want to say that it is resolved that the Board of Supervisors of the County of Kern, State of California, does hereby honor and commend Nancy Anderson for 23 years of outstanding service to the people of Kern County. And I have the resolution signed by all members of the board. So I want to present this to her, but I want to build a little context for us all to truly understand her value to Kern County. A budget is a financial document, but it is also it's a moral statement. A budget is a defining document not just on how we're going to spend our dollars, but how we prioritize the services that we offer to our constituents. And whether it's balancing the needs for maintaining credit ratings so that we can continue to loan when we need to, or to fund needs of the people that not necessarily are covered directly in this budget, whether it's the homelessness thing we just initiated, or all those working with all the unions. It's so critical that we have a budget that is comprehensive, it makes sense, and it achieves the objectives that are mandated to us by the state of California and by the federal government, but it's also a budget that reflects our values and how we prioritize the quality of life and how we feel about maintaining the safety and security of our people. Nothing in what we do at Kern County is more important than managing the precious resources of our taxpayers. I mean, there's just nothing that we do, in my opinion, that is more important. Behind the scenes in developing this document and this moral argument are the people who got to understand the innuendos and the technicalities of developing such a all-encompassing document. And Nancy's the person for years who's been behind the scenes, who's been understanding all these things that, you know, when I started 7 years ago, I had no idea. I remember we had the first conversation about fire fund, and we were going through the fire fund and how we're going to manage that and what we're doing, and I'm sitting there trying to, I thought I was a pretty smart guy about things until someone started talking about ERAF shifts. And the CAO at the time, a guy by the name of John Nylon, obviously recognized my deficiency in understanding ERAF shifts from the look on my face as we were having these conversations, and maybe some of your faces as we were going through these conversations. And he said, well, I better bring in the big guns. And so he brought in Nancy and some other folks to come in, the lawyers, to come in and try to explain ERAF shift, what it is, how it works, and how we take tax dollars and allocate them from this pot of money to this pot of money. And if it wasn't for Nancy, well, I can't say she completely educated me, but she tried real hard. And she did a pretty good job. But what I realized quickly is that county government is not as simple as it seems. And managing a county budget is extremely difficult, probably one of the more challenging things I've ever seen, and one of the more difficult lessons for me to learn was because it's not so, you can look at it and have so many different takeaways, but the one that's most important is the overarching, themes that the county has to develop, and we've developed one, in my mind, as being a public safety consciousness and health and care of the people most in need. And it's been Nancy behind the scenes who's done that. She has not only done a fabulous job bringing her technical expertise to budget management to the forefront, but she's also developed a team back in the CAO's office that has worked diligently to create the best and most forward-thinking document that I could possibly imagine, and it's been a joy working for her. I just can't say enough about the success of our county, whether it's been the 4-year spending plan or it's meeting the obligations of the county for the past 7 years. It's the backs we've been riding. We sit up there and we prolificate and we pontificate and we do all these great things, but the credit really goes to the workers in the trench. And those workers in the trench, Nancy's their leader. And Nancy's the person, in my mind, that, and I'm sure all of your minds, that gets the MVP for how we are as a county and how we keep moving, how we keep our debt ratios in alignment, how we keep our debtors and our creditors in check and giving us these favorable ratings constantly, how we meet despite the crash in oil prices, despite the Erskine fire, all these disasters. How do we do all this stuff, the homeless? I could go on, and we're going to get some other words, but it cannot be overstated, the value of Nancy and her contributions to Kern County, and I wanted to take a special moment to thank her for all she's done, and her family. So, Nancy, we have some other people who want to give some words, so I'm going to pass her off to.
Supervisor Gleason, thanks for the opportunity. You really said it all. Add value, contribute more than you cost. Make sure that when you leave, everybody knows that something really important is missing. That's a philosophy that I talk about quite a bit. Nancy embodied that really better than anybody. We have a lot of great people on staff. I mean, I was really lucky when I started. Mr. Nylon had a great staff around him. Most of those folks stayed and conveyed to me. Very, very lucky in coming into this job with all of the issues that we had to deal with. Having a staff in place that I had a lot of confidence in, not just me, but department heads and other folks around the county that had a lot of confidence in. That leads me to say that, you know, that's a testament to Nancy, her smarts, skill set. She brought a lot of unique experience and expertise with regard to finance, financial management. She had an auditing background, all of that, but really the most incredible asset that Nancy provided to this county was just her demeanor, the way she carried herself. She's very, very pleasant to be around. We had great chemistry from the start, and she gets it, and that's just really, I think, the most important thing about her. And I think if you asked most people around the county, they would tell you that. When you're dealing in the kind of environment that we're having to manage, you know, with all of our fiscal challenges, you know, dealing with the various department heads, their challenges, their issues, it takes a special person to be able to navigate all of that, and at the end of the day, come out on the other side with, you know, arm in arm, with mutual understanding, mutual respect, et cetera. So that is a testament to Nancy. I want to also thank her for her willingness to step into the newly created Chief Operations Officer role that we created. You know, that is an important evolution of the CAO's office that we've been working on for a few years, and wasn't taking Nancy away from her expertise, which is finance, but also putting her into roles to ensure that, you know, we build a homeless center quickly, or any other item that we're working on. Nancy has her hands in it, her leadership in it, and I just appreciate that. From budgets to projects to the staff that she's been involved with hiring in the CAO's office, really a testament to Nancy. So best wishes. She's leaving us. You know, she met a guy who actually lives over in Santa Ynez, and so she's leaving us after getting married, and she's going to be the new assistant CAO over in Santa Barbara. So, you know, they're gaining Santa Barbara seems to take quite a few of our people, but she'll be over in Santa Barbara. She'll be a great asset to Mona over there, and so Nancy will be missed. I know Mr. Nylon's here, probably wanted to come up. I'm going to ask him to come up and say a few things as well.
Madam Chair, members of the board, good morning. John Nylon, recovering county employee. I was asked to be here, and it was such an honor to do that. I've, as you know, known Nancy quite a while. And we talked a little bit about her budget and finance background. You all remember Jeff Rapwell, and he was a budget director one time, so he and I were talking about this. And he worked with many budget directors, you know, the Scott Joneses, the Elisa Ladds, the legends of the fifth floor, right? They are the legends. And he said, including himself, who was a budget director, said, by far, the very best budget director Kern County ever had was Nancy Lawson. And it is a true statement, and we will miss her for sure. Now, she's been involved in a number of things that were budget-related, as you know, the fiscal austerity plan, really creative way to help us through an issue without impacting our response to our clients and customers. But also, she tackled something that most people don't understand. It's even more challenging than ERAF, and that's the tax split. You guys may recall that. And actually coming up with a tax split that is so creative and so innovative that the cities in Kern County decided that this is what we want to do, not the old way, but the new way, and it actually benefits Kern County in ways that only your successors will know. That's how valuable and beneficial it is. When Mick became a supervisor, he said, John, tell me the 3 top things that Kern County is facing. And I said, KMC, KMC, and KMC. And it was through this leadership of Assemblyman Salas and Mr. Judd, who's out there as well, to make it happen where we could create a district. Now, that took a lot of effort, but the actual transition from a county department to a district took yeoman's work, and Nancy and her team made that happen. And that issue, Supervisor Gleason, is no longer one of our top 3 issues. And I think that's testimony to the whole leadership, but also to Nancy and her team doing that. And also, you think of a budget director, you think of them kind of as a little nerdy, a little introverted, a little like me. But you see that Nancy develops. She goes and becomes the chief operational officer. That is a skill set that is beyond what traditional budget and finance people have. That's a skill set where you bring people together, you lead, and you show what leadership is all about. And because of those skill sets, Nancy, you will be terribly missed by everyone in Kern County. And we just wish you the very best, and we know that Santa Barbara is the benefiter of our training and our hard work. We'll expect money back from them, but seriously, Nancy, you'll do well. We'll miss you, and thank you on behalf of all county employees and all residents of Kern County.
Before you get up, Nancy, I asked John to wear a tie. He obviously still doesn't listen to me. Nancy, a few words, please.
Madam Chair, members of the board, wow, I was not expecting all of this. Thank you for this recognition. It has been an honor and a privilege to serve Kern County, your board, the County Administrative Office, and the Auditor Controller's Office over the past 23 years. I would like to acknowledge and thank the county administrative staff across all the divisions and thank them for their support, their professionalism, and their dedication to all of their respective missions. I especially want to thank the Budget, Finance, and Compliance team who never cease to amaze me with their talents. They are truly the best and the brightest, and I have no doubt that you are left in very capable hands. I did want to leave you with something that perhaps you don't know about me and my family and service to Kern County. My mom and dad are here. My mom, Sue Bennett, you obviously know. She has been before your board many, many years, advocating for Kern County libraries and animal services. She also, for many years, was an elections field representative with my brother or I tagging along, specifically at her choice, Supervisor Gleason, the Kernville and the Lake Isabella area. So we did that for many years, as long as she was capable. Two gentlemen who are less elusive and here with me. My dad, 15 years ago, retired from the Kern County Assessor's Office after 34 years of service. He was the chief agricultural appraiser. And after he retired, I learned that he was integral in part of developing the guidance, statutory guidance for what we know as the Williamson Act. So I thought that was interesting. I came in 1997. My brother followed after Dad retired a few years in his footsteps. He currently works for the Kern County Assessor's Office as a supervising appraiser and has been there for 15 years. So we have collectively been continuously working for Kern County, the Bennett family has, since 1971, and we collectively have 72 years of service. So I thought that was an interesting little tidbit. Thank you so much again for this recognition. It's really, truly been an honor.
Thank you. We got to get pictures. Okay, what are we doing here? Everybody just get the picture. Come on.
Nancy, you're so good. You got John Nylon over here acting like he's still CAO.
You right front. Why don't we get the family right in the middle?
Too many chiefs, right?
That's exactly right.
I'm happy now. What a great family. Thank you all for what you do. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nancy, you are beloved and will be dearly missed. Dearly missed.
Way to go. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mick. Item number 6 on this morning's agenda is public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on today's agenda but under the jurisdiction of the board. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state and spell your full name before making your presentation. And please come on down.
Good morning. My name is Adiyinka Glover, and I work at Leadership Council for Justice and Accountability as a staff attorney in our office here in Bakersfield. I just wanted to come speak as a follow-up to the January 14th Board of Supervisors meeting in the afternoon concerning oil and gas. There were, as another speaker mentioned, there was a lot of people present, and not everyone who had come had the opportunity to speak because of the full audience. And so I'm here accompanied by someone who wanted to still make their statement about their concerns. I think that the county has a great opportunity to continue to build on the renewable energy steps that have been taken so far, to continue to move towards energy sources that are not harmful to people in the environment. And I was a little disappointed with how the meeting went on the 14th. It felt very weighted towards one side without hearing from people who might have had a variety of perspectives on the issues. It felt like more of one side of an issue got a larger opportunity to express their concerns, maybe because they were already in line with the views of the county staff. I also will mention I am someone who lives in District 2, so Supervisor Scribner, you are my supervisor, and I'll just speak personally. I thought that there was a great opportunity to hear from everyone before making a decision of how the county sought to proceed. And so I think moving forward, it would be a great opportunity to, again, just hear from everyone before a firm decision is made in that way. And I will turn it over to Empress.
I am Empress Noentezekilelo, E-M-P-R-E-Z-Z as in zebra, N-O-N-T-Z-I-K-E-L-E-L-O, blessed visionary. Never in my wildest dreams that I think I would have to walk every day with a rescue inhaler to help me breathe. And while I commend Supervisor Couch for his comments the other day on a promotion or advertisement regarding trash burning and all of that, I commend you, but I know that we need to do more. And I have attended California Air Resources Board meetings where this valley has received a grade of F. I'm wondering if that grade has improved. Now, though I am one person speaking about bad air, and I am sensitive that oil and gas does create jobs, we can do more to clean up this air, where there are others who are suffering much more than I am, who are walking around pushing oxygen tanks and things are in their purses. So this is probably a mild thing, but I really, really don't like having to travel every day, 24/7, with the rescue inhaler. Please do something more. Think outside the box, color outside the lines, do whatever you have to do to clean up this air and give us a better grade and better air quality. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd like Lorelei Oviatt, Ms. Lorelei Oviatt, our Planning and Natural Resources Director, to come up, and if you could speak just very briefly to the amount of mitigation dollars that our oil and gas industry has paid to help clean up the air in the Central Valley. And whatever you think is relevant to add.
Good morning. Lorelei Oviatt, Director of Planning and Natural Resources. I appreciate the commenters' passion about doing more. We should do more. The oil and gas industry for the last 5 years has been paying mitigation fees imposed by your board under an agreement with the San Joaquin Air Pollution Control District. We have collected at least $80 million. Those are available for grants. We have now reached out to the Air District. I have a dedicated planner and others who are going to be working to find ways to help businesses understand how we can use those dollars. Those dollars are used to, for example, at the city of Arvin, change out all of their vehicles to clean air vehicles, clean up school buses, take dirty school buses out, change out diesel ag engines over into electric, and we do need to do more. And I know that your board supports my department in working closer with the San Joaquin Air District so that we can bring those dollars down for grade separation so that the traffic flows, for changing out our trucks. One of the largest polluters are the unregulated trucks that drive down I-5 and 99 from Southern California and Northern California. They are not under the control of your board, but we certainly can work with our local businesses to clean up their trucks. And I hope that that at least gives you a small insight into some of the things we are going to be doing that is more.
Thank you, Ms. Oviatt. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I am Veronica Vasquez, the rank and file Kern County Chapter President, and I've been a social worker in Kern County for more than 12 years. I am joined today by my coworkers who represent the 4,500 workers represented by our union, SEIU Local 521, the 5,000 union members of United Domestic Workers, as well as community residents, faith organizations, and activists. We are united by common purpose: to protect the health, safety, and well-being of Kern County residents. It is vital that the public is aware that the majority of us as county residents are at risk. With over 1,300 residents experiencing homelessness, more than 75,000 children living in poverty, it is no secret that our community is in crisis. A public safety crisis that has been neglected for years. Today, you will hear from various speakers made up of stakeholders who are concerned with the priorities currently in place. All the comments that will be shared with you are backed by facts and statistics, many of which were provided by this very county. I would like to provide you with a copy of our presentation to the board for the record. We have developed copies for each one of you to review and follow along.
Can you proceed? You're running out of time here.
Yes.
There you go.
For far too long, this county has disregarded the real solution to many of the challenges facing our residents, which is also never mentioned in this chamber, and that is prevention. I will repeat that again. That is prevention. And it just so happens to be that this is the work county employees do, CBOs, and the community leaders know how to do best. Thank you.
My name is Francisco Martinez. I am a CPS social service worker at the Department of Human Services, and I have been with the county for 15 years. I am also a constituent of District 2. I'd like to continue where my colleague Veronica left off. We are in a public crisis. This is how we know and why the public should be alarmed. Kern County's population is about 900,000. That number will rise in the next census. Out of the population of 900,000, 273,000 of these Kern County residents receive food stamps. From the years 2000 to 2018, the number of Kern County residents receiving food stamps increased 173%. The need for county services that county workers provide has continued to increase year after year. Our rural communities are especially adversely affected because rural communities have much less access to county services. Between the years 2014 and 2018, the number of Kern County residents who are Medi-Cal recipients increased by 26%. Yet Kern County currently ranks 52 out of 58 counties in California in terms of health outcomes. This is a race to the bottom. The population most affected by this failure to keep Kern County residents healthy are our youngest and most vulnerable, our children. This should be very alarming to everyone present today. However, it does not ever seem to become an issue until it becomes a tragedy. It's becoming a common theme in public hearings that there's only incentives to find solutions to a crisis or to a tragedy when it's already well underway. The worst part about it is that we don't even take time to talk about investing in more prevention and intervention services that could help avoid problems. In conclusion, it seems like the most practical way to address the overwhelming increases in services is to increase the number of county workers and provide county services. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Salazar, and I'm social services worker with CPS, and I'm a constituent of District 1. I truly believe that if our children could be here today to beg you for additional resources and services, they would be. This is especially because allegations of child abuse and neglect are 36% higher in Kern County than in the state of California. And the reoccurrence rate of child abuse and neglect is 8.99%, double the state average. That's right, members of the board. Our children are more at risk of child abuse and neglect merely because they are residents of Kern County, and this is unacceptable. If our goal as a county is to keep families healthy, we must take a preventative approach to protecting their safety, and this cannot be achieved with the current ratio of cases assigned to workers. As board leaders, you have an opportunity and a moral obligation to lead on an issue that is impacting our entire state and country. We cannot and must not continue to be the last community to tackle this crisis head-on. Kern County is made up of very talented individuals who want to see our children and families thrive, and we must make every effort to keep workers here to support our community. Our children look up to us to create a future filled with opportunities, and right now we are failing them. Together, let's work to ensure we are leading a county that prioritizes protecting our children. I know the people who work in this county, and I know that they have the will and the commitment to do so. We just need more support. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Trina Brown, and I am a resident of District 1. I am also a social service worker 5 at the Department of Human Services in the CPS division, and I have 14-point-some-odd years. It is no surprise to anyone the impact that homelessness has played in our community. It may be a surprise to some that homeless has impacted people from all walks of life, not just a particular group. Our most impacted communities are women and children. I'm a woman, and what I do every day is work towards the best interest of children. It's disheartening to know that 16% of the homeless population are women with children, and 11% of the homeless population are children. This Friday, my daughter and my special needs granddaughter and grandson will be added to that population of homeless people because their HUD house was sold out from under them. Homelessness has demonstrated that it does not discriminate here in Kern County. We have seen an increase just about every year in the last decade. But in my role as a social service worker, I have seen positive outcomes from the work that many of our county employees provide to the homeless population. It's truly amazing what support can do, change the life of an individual, even those that have hit rock bottom. But it takes just that, support. And of course, it would be an overstatement to say that our county workforce has a single solution to help everyone, because we simply do not. They do, however, serve an important role in providing guidance to those in need, but just like child welfare and the Department of Health, they cannot keep up with the growing demands for service. Too many times we hear presented at this board that the need to increase officers to address the crime in our community. And while we agree that it's important to have adequate safety measures in place, we again forget the element of prevention. As community members of Kern, we have seen the positive outcomes of prevention to violence, the prevention in health, education. I am a strong believer that prevention must play a critical role in the support we provide to our homeless community. In conclusion, this county can be the leader in addressing prevention, but it takes your commitment to invest in the resources needed. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nick Cott. I'm a systems analyst 2 for Kern County, and I also reside in District 1. As a resident of this county, I cannot consciously stand in silence and watch as this public service crisis continues to impact our community. Children, the elderly, and our low-income families depend on our public services every day. They count on us during their time of need. Being a member of this community means that I, too, can turn to these services should I ever need to, and that I can count on you as our leadership to ensure that you are doing everything in your power to guarantee this access to the most vulnerable among us. But can I really? Let's look at the facts and numbers. In the last 5 years alone, 44% of the workforce has left the county. That is just about half the workforce. What does that mean for those of us who stay? Well, nearly half of our coworkers leave us. When they do, they don't take their problems with them. They don't take our increasing workload with them. What they do take is what's most valuable, and that is experience, dedication, and the education required to perform our jobs. What that in turn means for those of us who stay is that not only must we continue our work, but we also burden the work that was left behind. The need for services continues to increase, and the quality is impacted. I call on you this morning, as the elected leaders of our county, to address the shortfalls in staffing and retention that cripple our ability to recruit and retain the necessary workforce to support prevention. Kern County children deserve priority. Our veterans, our seniors deserve priority. It's time that you prioritize the health and safety of this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cott.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Cynthia Scott, and I am an Office Services Assistant as well as a resident in District 3. You have heard from my fellow coworkers and neighbors about the impact on our community when you deliberately choose not to invest in the services our most vulnerable residents need. Not only is a lack of investment impacting our community and fueling a public safety crisis, But I'd like for you to take a closer look at how our own families suffer because of this. 18% of workers in SEIU represented positions have a starting wage of less than $15 an hour. That is 832 workers who are living at or below the poverty line, many who are eligible for the same services which we provide to our communities. How ironic is that? To serve our community with scarce support for our work, while also being forced to make do with little support for our own families year after year. My son has a medical condition that requires treatment in Los Angeles over the last 3 years. The out-of-town care requires driving 200 miles round trip as often as once per month at our own expense. Rental cars plus gas and parking fees add up quickly. Our own vehicles are older. 2 vehicles at 400,000 miles combined require frequent upkeep and repairs and can no longer make the journey to LA. My income is not sufficient to live on and endure the ever-increasing cost of living without any cost of living adjustment for county workers. We need to utilize food banks and get help from our families and use credit cards to survive the ever-increasing cost of living without an increase in our paycheck. My family qualifies for public assistance and other low-income programs. As a county worker, this is shameful. We should be able to support our families while serving our county.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Alicia Huerta, and I am also a representative of the Dolores Huerta Foundation. I'm a resident of District 2, and I've raised my family here in Kern County my entire life. I've lived here. I've raised my family here, and we've invested in Kern County. And today you've heard from only a few of the county's dedicated workers, and though you see many representatives here in the purple and green shirts, there are so many more county workers with very powerful stories who could be here. But we are here to ensure the message is heard loud and clear. Not investing in our workforce has led to a lack of investment in our community, and our neighborhood communities are unsafe because of it. I believe we need a proactive, not a reactive approach, and to solve this crisis so that our communities don't continue to suffer. The numbers that are printed in front of you are not just statistics. Unfortunately, they do tell a hard, cold truth. The truth of neglect and suffering that our Kern County residents needlessly are enduring each and every day. We need to take action. If we don't take action to stop this public safety crisis, it just hurts everyone in our county, from the youngest to our eldest residents. Our most vulnerable populations are hit the hardest. As a coalition, we have to be joined together because we care about this community. We know that there's real solutions to stop the impact of public safety. We are partnering together to find those solutions. Kern County is made up of caring people, like all those here behind me. I know you do as well. Show the dedication in the life and saving and preventative work that we're proud to do. We cannot afford to continue to see our county's workers leave. As just earlier here before you, Ms. Bennett, with all her accolades, all her years, her family service, she's leaving Kern County. Why is that? Let's think about that. You know, we need to keep improving on our economy and our budget. We know that Kern County has the ability to retain and recruit. We're gonna need more workers in the future. The services that are needed now are only gonna grow and become more dire.
Can you wrap up, please, Ms.
Sorry.
Thank you.
So imagine how we could impact the homeless, child poverty, child welfare care for our elders and disabled. If this county is to choose that investment, it is time we do better. It is time you join us in raising a healthy Kern County community. Let's raise up and do this together, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Huerta. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning, Board of Supervisors. My name's Annie Stevens, A-N-N-I-E, last name S-T-E-P-H-E-N-S. I was born and raised in the 1st District, but I live in District 3. And I did a ride-along with Zach. Nice to see you. I work for Department of Human Services, more specifically in the Emergency Response Unit. I've been with the Department of Human Services Emergency Response since 2014. I'm going to get straight to my point, which is our lack of a livable wage is ultimately having a serious consequence on our local public safety. Employees within our department are not paid enough to afford basic necessities. I'm a social worker 5, the highest paid here at the Department of Human Services. Half of my income goes to childcare. When we lose people in our department, another worker has to pick up that person's caseload. We have people desperately overwhelmed with clients, cases, CPS referrals, workers simply drowning, no longer barely staying afloat. To put it bluntly, I can no longer continue working for the Department of Human Services. I can no longer afford to work for this county. I've recently taken on a second job. Excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm working as a professor in one of our local prisons just to make ends meet at night. Excuse me. Working a second job has taken a toll on my family. Madam Chair, you're a mother. I'm a mother. Can you imagine telling your clients the importance of bonding with your children, but you can't do it yourself?
Right.
It's shameful.
It's pathetic.
It's just embarrassing. I just need a second.
Take your time.
Sorry, it's just.
I'm so sorry.
My
Really,
daughter
I am.
cries. Mom, why can't you stay home? She's only 4. How do I answer her? I give her some lame excuse. Excuse me, sorry.
Don't be sorry. We should be sorry.
I guess I have to find my spot. The bottom line is, if you don't pay your employees a living wage, we're gonna continue to lose them. Children in this county, they're gonna fall between the cracks. You talked about how difficult it is to balance a budget. It's difficult dealing with dead kids, abused and neglected kids. You got a real problem because you got 2 ER workers in Ridgecrest. One of them's retiring in August. The other one's looking for other jobs. What are you gonna do? Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Cynthia Johnston, resident District 3. One of the heavy hitters in the game of jailing immigrants for profit is GEO, and they want to build a facility in our backyard. GEO Group, Inc. of Boca Raton, Florida, manages or owns 116 correctional and detention facilities boasting some 80,000 beds. In a 2007 letter to prisonersolidarity.org, an inmate wrote that he and other prisoners at a state penitentiary had been trying for 17 months to call attention to inhumane conditions such as broken toilets that leak profusely, urinals that overflow onto our feet, and the lack of ventilation that results in fumes and condensation that are unbearable at times. These are the living conditions many private prison inmates endure, conditions bad enough to cause a young man to commit suicide at Dickens County Correctional Center in Spur, Texas, a prison run by GEO. They cut corners because the bottom line is money. According to Immigrants for Sale, an expose by a group called Cuéntame, private prisons have spent over $20 million lobbying state legislators to make sure they get anti-immigrant laws approved, thereby securing an endless supply of immigrant inmates. At over $700 per night per inmate, they have built themselves a perfect money machine. And they want to build one in our backyard and make us part of their mortal sin against humanity. We have to fight this with all we have. Please support the governor's ban on private prisons. Thank you.
Hi, board members. Thank you for your time this morning. Not really prepared, didn't know what I was going to say.
It's okay.
My name's Tiffany Jones. My Tiffany Jones. I've been a social service worker with the county for about 8 years, and I'm just going to kind of piggyback off what everyone else is saying, that we do need a competitive wage offered to us. We do continue to lose people, and maybe you guys think that you can't afford it, that the money's not there, and I realize you have a fiduciary responsibility to this community. I do have a master's degree in organizational management, and I can tell you that this is bad business. We are losing people right and left. Just in my units, there's only 2 of my unit. I work in permanent placement, so these kids are extremely high risk. They're not getting adopted. They're not finding forever homes, and the chances of that happening are pretty low. I had 40 cases as of last week. 4 hours per month that I can give these kids, because we have lost like 5 people from our units. We are so low right now, and every time someone else leaves, they're redistributing our caseloads out to the rest of us, which makes our load go up and up and up. Every time you see a worker leave that has experience, that has a wealth of knowledge about different departments, you can't replace that. There is no like financial price tag to be placed on that. In addition to that, even if you just cut the numbers of what it costs to initially train someone, we had, every time someone just walks away like that, you are throwing money in the trash can. If you'd put the money out in front of it, you'd see people stay more often. And that's gonna get you back what you need ultimately. You're gonna have a workforce that's gonna stick around for you and be able to do the job for these kids in this community that people need. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Lori Pesante, P-E-S-A-N-T-E, and today I speak on behalf of the Dolores Huerta Foundation. Dolores sends her regrets. She had to attend a meeting in Los Angeles. In addition to speaking on behalf of the foundation, today I also speak on behalf of myself. I am a Community College Association member at Bakersfield College, a CTA member, and my husband is a Duesta member out of Delano. I am also a former geriatric care manager specializing in elder abuse cases here in Kern County. And I will tell you, it is 100% the truth, Mr. Gleason, as I am also a constituent of yours, that a budget is a moral statement, and that the workers in the trench are very, very important because they are on the front lines of the heart of the people and the bottom line of your budget. And here's how. When I consulted on these elder abuse cases, what I noticed was that financial abuse cases, for example, were almost rarely investigated or prosecuted. Physical abuse cases, yes, but not the financial ones, because it was too expensive, right? But yet the ripple effect of that I saw in the parking lot at Starbucks yesterday when I ran into somebody I knew who was homeless. And I did not know until yesterday afternoon that they were homeless. We say we care about public safety. We say we care about our kids. We say we care about the elderly. We say we care about our women. We saw a whole presentation on it about women in Saudi Arabia and human rights issues. This is where we're going to show that commitment, because a majority of our home care workers, social workers, are women. My brother flies F-18s for the Navy, and it was a home care worker who cared for our grandmother when he was deployed and made sure he got the message of her passing It was home care workers who care for our veterans, care for our elderly, care for our kids. It's social workers who are helping my friend, like the one who was living in his truck yesterday. And this board needs to care for the people who care for the people that you guys say you care for.
Ms. Pasante, can you wrap it up?
I sure can.
Thank you.
The fabric of our society is disintegrating before our very eyes, and you have the people here telling you how to fix that. We need to listen to them today. Thank you.
My bestie brother.
Good morning. My name is Susanna Vasquez. I am with Employers Trading Resource, and Madam Chair and members of the board, thank you for having me today. I'm here to talk about my experience and why we need a raise. I've worked for the county for 12 years now. I've worked for several different departments, in fact. I started at the Department of Human Services, and when I began there, we had about 350 cases per person, which was way too many. There was no way that we could provide to the public the services that they need adequately with that much of a caseload. So I then started to see how I could start to make my own raises, so I promoted. And I went to the Kern County Department of Child Support Services. There, I was handed a 1,500 caseload. Got a little bit of a raise, but a lot more work. So going back to what one of the individuals was saying was, you start to take away from your home life, and we can't provide that home life when we're severely overworked at work. We get home, when I started the county, I had a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. Now, I have an 18-year-old and a 15-year-old. Do you know how much more expensive they are now? I mean, they drive, they want to go to prom, they want to do all these fantastic things, and it's getting to the point where I'm having to tell them no. I just can't do it anymore. I'm currently the Employers Training Resource. I'm the Kern Inyo-Mono County Rapid Response Coordinator. So basically, I handle all of the layoffs for all of Kern Inyo-Mono counties. I help with retraining, providing employment development department information, as well as giving them opportunities for rapid reemployment. With that being said, let me explain something. We need to put our oxygen mask on our employees first, so that we can continue to help the community the way that we need to. And the only way we can do that is by having you guys help to provide us with a little more income. I love my job. I want to be Nancy Anderson one day, but I can't do that if you guys don't help us. Okay.
Good morning, members of the board. My name is Joanna Romero, Johanna Romero. I have been employed by the County of Kern since 2011, and I am a constituent of District 4. I have worked at several departments and in several positions. Currently, I'm very proud to say I'm an investigator at the Kern County Public Defender's Office, and I'm here to ask the board to consider the fact that county employees have not had a raise in over 10 years. Every department in Kern County has become a revolving door for educated professionals who get hired and trained here. These professionals choose to go work for different agencies and counties who pay them better wages for their hard work. I am a working educated professional in my chosen career field, and I have had to work a second job to make ends meet as a divorced mother of 4. The employees of Kern County went into these jobs because they want to serve their communities, not to make a lot of money. However, as the cost of living has risen and our wages have remained stagnant, we are losing excellent employees to other counties simply because of pay. Please consider approving a cost of living adjustment. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Samantha Bone, B-O-N-E, and I'm part of District 2. I wanted to get up here and just kind of reiterate what everyone else was saying, that I have been a county worker for 10 years. I came into this field because I wanted to help serve my community and help other people. It has become increasingly difficult to do so due to the lack of increase of wages. I believe when I started in 2008, I worked in several different departments. Minimum wage was about $8 an hour. Now it's up to $13 an hour, I believe, and it should be going up to $15 soon. But the county workers have not seen a raise since then. And pretty soon, some of the people that are required to have a degree to get a specific job in the field are going to be making minimum wage. It's very difficult for us to spend time with our families and help the community when we don't have the help and support ourselves. So that's pretty much it. If you would please consider giving us a cost of living, we would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Don't forget to eat your tacos.
I never forget.
Right, it's Taco Tuesday. County workers, enough is enough already. Y'all are paid enough. None of you rarely pull your weight. Far
Ma'am,
and few
can you
between.
direct your comments to the
Far
board?
and few between. I can speak to everybody, actually.
Your comments should be directed to the board, not the crowd.
Anyhow, dear Mr. Gleason, happy retirement. How about you just take a short vacation and not stop serving? Thank you very much for your super awesome service to your extremely loyal constituents. A job well done, as you have never tossed around your job title or accolades. Thank you very much for your service. You have steadfastly and diligently served your vast community, and it's a big one. Just today in the local newspaper, there's an individual suing our county, community, city, whatever you want to call it, in regards to the homeless crisis. Indigent situation in this area has gotten out of hand. Not only is it affecting local businesses, it has also been having a major impact on many industries. I'm extremely mad that the Dodgers didn't go to the Super Bowl. Go oil and ag. It's called directional drilling, not fracking. Transportation, education. Most of all, the budget is the key. Beer is food, whiskey's better. Keep it real, keep it loyal. What happened to Live Better Work Union, like back in the day? And as for our current local chairwoman, I'm not a fan. You've cost us a lot of money.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, please state your name.
My name is Angelina Magana, A-N-G-E-L-I-N-A, Magana, M-A-G-A-N-A. I am a caregiver, and I enjoy what I do, and I'm, along with these other workers, rather they got their degrees and they achieved, but it is tight, and one day I enjoy caring for those that don't have a voice, or elderly, or disabled vets, handicapped children, to help families that do serve our counties, our judges, our police officers, our doctors. We care for those people, their loved ones, and we give these officers, teachers, the load to go and serve our community so we can take care of their loved ones. They're not getting abused, they're not getting mistreated, and I enjoy doing that. And I would love to continue to do this, even though it's a low-paying job. I've worked in Santa Barbara, Thousand Oaks, Ventura, Westlake, and now here in Kern County, the wages have gone tremendously low. I would love to continue to work in this county. I have a mother that has Alzheimer's. That's why I got myself in Kern County, in Tehachapi. An increase. A workman is worthy of his pay, and may we all get one. And thank you for your work and what you enjoy doing. Continue the work. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chairperson and the Board of Supervisors. My name is Christine Moore. That's CHRISTINEMOORE. I'm just going to say, they done said it all. Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and Board. My work is I'm a recipient, and I need my person. When I can't get up in the morning, when I have anxiety, who's there? My kids work. One of them lives in San Bernardino, the other one lives in Vegas. When they come down, yes, they're there with their mother. When I had my cancer, and I'm cancer-free, they stay 24/7. When they're going to work, who do I have? Nobody but her. And don't take her away and give her more money. Do you know how much she means to me? When I get up in the morning and see that smiling face to tell me when you okay? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Pay these people. Please pay these people. Because I have to go to a home, and I don't want to go to a home. I need my worker. Thank you.
Good morning. Excuse my accent. My English is not perfect. I wish I can speak perfectly. My name is Marta Elba Trujillo, and I don't like the word clients. I call them my patients because both of them are sick. They need my service. I love my job. I love them. One of them is 77 years old, and he's in an electrical scooter, and since he was 39 years old. So imagine his life, how it is. He doesn't like to be in a home. We call them en asilos. He doesn't like to be in rehab centers because it's a lot of limitations for him, you know. He enjoys being in his home because he go in and out, in and out. He eats whatever he wants, whenever he wants to. The second one, she is 72 years old. She's deaf and dumb. So it's even harder for her because she not even go and check the mail because she doesn't hear, she doesn't speak. So it's very hard. Both of them doesn't have family. Well, they do have kids, but they don't visit them. They didn't call them. They're not here. If you guys help us and paid us better raise, they help us a lot because they need us. We don't have health insurance, we don't have benefits, and we need them too because we are humans. We're gonna get sick one of these days. And imagine, just stand up for a little bit in our shoes. I got bronchitis a couple weeks ago, and I was sick. How I can go and do my job if I don't feel good? It's not easy for them to get another person. Why? Because they don't have on-call persons and in-home support services. Oh, it's very limited because I don't know how to explain you the situation. before my mom passed away, my mom passed from cancer. And when I submit all the paperwork to be a caregiver for my mother, before I received my first check, passed over 3 months. The process is not easy, it's not fast. It has a process. So who's going to take care of a person just for a couple weeks when the caregivers recovers to come back and do their own job? And then on top of that, they have to do a whole process and maybe almost 8 weeks receive the check from that client. So it's a little complicated. So please help us. I know that you guys can do it. It's not that easy. It's not easy for us. And like this person says, I don't know how to say, esta señora dijo, please don't take away my caregiver. Don't take away my daughter or whoever takes care of her. Because if you is her daughter, she feels comfortable with her. So please help us. We need a raise.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Okay.
Good morning, Chairman and Board. My name is Cherie Hale. I am a recipient of in-home supportive services. And without these workers, we can't do anything. I'm a recipient. I have diabetes very bad. I have lost my fingers. I'm about to lose another one. Without my worker, I can't do hardly anything. She's not giving enough time to help me. I have to try to do it on my own. And here I am, no fingers. And I'm trying to do this work myself. I can't even wipe myself when I go to the bathroom hardly. But everybody wants to take these people away from us and not pay them to do this. And that's a horrible job, to wipe another person's behind for them. And then you don't want to pay them to do it. One day you might be sick like this and need the same type of service. And you're gonna want someone that's getting paid to come and do it right. Because if they're not getting paid right, they're not gonna do it right.
That's right.
So we need to get these people paid like everyone else is getting paid. I don't know how you're going to do it, how it's done. I don't know the process, because I'm not into politics and all that. I'm just a retired working mother of 4 that worked 16 hours a day for 39 years, put 4 kids through college, so they wouldn't have to go through what I'm going through. I've had 26 heart surgeries, I'm at 27th, and I need my worker, and I need some more hours, and they need more time to get more money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chairwoman and members of the board. My name is Cindy Schweitzer, and I'm a Kern County employee. I work for the Department of Aging and Adult Services. I am an in-home support services worker. I am the one within a unit of 4 people, wherein we help the providers here, and we help them to get their timesheets. We help them to make sure they're paid. We help the recipients. We are a support staff for the social workers. And as I sit here and I heard them say their problems and their issues, I just want to say that I've been doing this job for, I can't believe this, but it's been 30 years that I've been here with in-home support services and with human services between that 30-year period, since what, 1989. But anyway, the last 30 years, 25 years or so, as I got into the union and seen all the employee strife that we go through because of underpayment, excessive caseloads, the cost of living not being, no cost of living adjustments, no timely raises. So for the last 30 years, I've heard this, oh, we're gonna get better, we're gonna do better, we're gonna do this, we're gonna get you this, we're gonna get you that. The county's gonna come through and do this. And for the last 12 years or so, we haven't had a meaningful raise as a county employee. So today I ask that you guys listen to these people as well as the other county employees here who are coming forward to say we need money to increase, to become economically viable for our families and supportive. So I'm asking you to give us the raises that we need as county employees so you can help me to help them so they can stay in their homes and not have to go to rest homes or anything worse. So our voices need to be heard. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I ask, are there any other members of the public that are going to talk during the public presentation? Anyone? Okay, thank you, sir. Your name, please?
Good morning. Madam Chair Lady Perez, members of the board. My name is Jairo Hernandez. I am a resident of District 5 and a member of the United Domestic Workers of America Union. Our job is to take care of the disabled people in our community. The baby boom generation, approximately 76 million people, including me, will be closing in on our 80s in the year 2030. If you are one of us, with any luck, you will be healthy and able to move. But imagine for a moment that you are not. Let's say a debilitating illness requires that you receive care in a nursing home. It is an unsettling future to imagine. But now, ask yourself this: who will take care of you? The baby boom generation have fewer children than previous generations. Currently, in the United States, every single day, 10,000 people reach the age of 65. Many studies have found that the number of available caregivers is coming down and will continue to drop for the next few decades. I found online a AARP blog under the following heading: The Future Supply of Family Caregivers. And continue with this: you take care of mom, but who will take care of you? At that site, they have a chart showing the acute and sad drop of available caregiver providers, which started in 2010 and will continue to the year 2050. There is no doubt that the demand for caregivers in the future will increase. Counties in California will be competing for caregivers. Many of these counties have already signed agreements with their respective unions. We, the caregivers in Kern County, need and should enjoy better wages and better benefits, which will likely enlarge the number of caregivers for our communities. A shortage of caregivers will bring the need for more nursing care institutions, which will cost at least twice as much to Kern County taxpayers. Besides, our disabled citizens prefer to stay in their own homes. We all know that when we die, we will not take with us the money we might have in the bank. We will only take with us our good deeds. I have a suggestion for you. Take this opportunity to add another good deed to your list of good deeds. Give us a salary raise to the Kern County Army of Home Care Providers now. I promise that you will experience a heavenly feeling of satisfaction which will be with you forever. The sad alternative is to begin losing caregivers to the competition in the coming years. Thank you for this opportunity. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Matthew Maldonado, United Domestic Workers Organizing Field Services Director. We represent over 110,000 caregivers in California. 5,000 of them are here in Kern County. Just a couple of facts that I wanted to raise from the sister that just told you how she fears for not having a caregiver come to her house. And it's closely connected due to the poor wages that this county is providing caregivers in California. $13 an hour minimum wage, really not fair. Last year alone in this county, 450,000 hours from the social workers who provide the services to determining how much care is needed from these people who are dependent on this program. 450,000 of those hours that they assessed went uncared for. What is happening to people like this that are depending on this work? You're creating a big problem for people who are depending on this program by not making it attractive for these caregivers to want to come and do this job. It's time for you guys to figure out how we're gonna fund these programs. Our members that are here behind me, we stand in solidarity with SEIU and other locals who represent county workers in this county. It's time for us to pay attention to us, hear all the stories that are coming, and it's up to you guys to make the decisions that are gonna make the corrections needed. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Benny Jacobs. I'm doing good. I thank God for the help that you've been giving the ones that works with me. One of the young ladies back there that she went take the lady to the room, she went through my program over 40 years ago. And now she's taking care of me. And I know that it's hard, that it's really, people just don't have money anymore. But it would be wonderful if you could give them a few dollars raise to help, because they are needed. I ran a program for 40 years, and now I need help. And I would really appreciate it if you could find it in your heart to give them a raise too. I know you too.
Thank you, Benny. Any other speakers and public presentations? I see one. Anybody else? Thank you all for being here and sharing your heart. Thank you. I think it's helpful.
I'll go while they're leaving, it's fine. David Fluhart, Havelock First District. I know it's poor taste to come up here at this sacred podium while I'm running for a position, but remember, I only ran because I have to.
Mr. Fluhart, we don't talk campaign in here. Get to your remarks, please.
Okay, I'll get to my remarks.
Thank you.
I just wanted to point out that I'm a gadfly. I'd be here regardless. I will be here in the future. I've been here in the past. Don't think I'm stumping, because I plan on losing. Okay, and so I'll still be here, and kind of threw me off my list here.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, but we really have rules in here that we all have to adhere to.
Right.
Otherwise
Well, what I was saying was, I know it looks bad for me to be here. Okay, I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I'm a gadfly. Okay, I argued very hard for it, and I've worked very hard doing it. I think I'm a serious gadfly. I think I've made improvements from my position as a gadfly.
Did you want to talk about the in-home issue or something else?
Well, I'm just telling you why I'm up here.
Okay.
Okay, it's because I'm a gadfly.
Well, it's your right.
That is my right. Okay, and I'm just saying it looks bad on my part being up here, but it's because I'm a gadfly.
Okay.
Been here half the meetings, don't talk all the time. I don't know, beyond that, remember, don't narrow the solution, widen the solution set. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Gadfly. Are there any other members of the public who would like to comment during public presentation? Seeing none, we are going to move along, although I will ask my colleagues if they would like to provide any input or board member announcements or reports.
Yes, ma'am.
Mick?
Thank you, ma'am. I have two. First, I'll start off with, we're replacing today, we already have appointed Ingrid Lake as our first district member of the Housing Authority. But what doesn't say on that report is that we're replacing a person who's been a phenomenal advocate for the first district for years. I've worked closely with him on many occasions. His name is Max Becerra. Max, you still here? I think Max left. He's been a phenomenal addition to Kern County. It's been a pleasure working with him. It wasn't easy for me to ask him to replace him, but it was time to get some fresh blood in there. I just want to take a moment to thank Max Becerra for all he's done for Kern County, especially the first district. Second thing is I'd like to ask Mr. Constantine to come up for a quick moment and talk to us about coronavirus and its implications for Kern County.
Thank you for that.
Supervisor Gleason, through the chair, with your indulgence, I would like to introduce Kim Hernandez. She is our person that's in charge of our disease control program and our lead epidemiologist to address some of your concerns.
Thank you, sir. Madam Chair, members of the board, thank you for allowing me to speak before you this morning. My name is Kimberly Hernandez. I'm the Assistant Division Director of Health Services at the Public Health Department, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about the novel coronavirus outbreak that's going on in China. So first, let's start off about what is a coronavirus. It's a type of virus that typically causes a mild upper respiratory infection. In essence, it's a virus that most of us would attribute the common cold. In December of 2019, a cluster of patients with pneumonia were identified in Wuhan, China. It's a major metropolitan area of central China, and the cause of those illnesses was later identified as what we call 2019 novel coronavirus. As of yesterday, January 27th, nearly 3,000 cases have been identified globally, including 80 deaths. Outside of China, there have been 37 confirmed cases across 11 countries. 5 of those have been in the US, and 2 of them have been in California. On January 18th, the Centers for Disease Control began screening all passengers whose itineraries traveled through Wuhan, China, and the screening is occurring at 5 different airports across the US, including SFO and LAX. The health screening identifies travelers returning from Wuhan and also who may have symptoms, and also educates those returning about what they should do if they develop symptoms after returning home and who to contact. The symptoms of the 2019 novel coronavirus include fever and respiratory symptoms such as a cough or shortness of breath. As those symptoms are particularly common during flu season as it is now, travel to Wuhan City or Hubei province is the most readily available indicator that healthcare providers should consider the 2019 novel coronavirus in ill patients. Currently, there's no vaccine for this new coronavirus, and treatments are still being evaluated for effectiveness. Medical care for the 2019 novel coronavirus is mostly supportive care to alleviate symptoms. That care can be provided in an acute care facility like a hospital, but it can also be performed at home while people are recovering. The public health follow-up of persons who have been identified with the 2019 novel coronavirus include identifying their close contacts so that those people who have been exposed to the ill person can be educated and also evaluated for their potential infection. While there are still many unknowns about the novel coronavirus, typical prevention measures are the same as what we routinely discuss during this time of year. Washing your hands, using alcohol-based hand sanitizer, limiting your contact with people who are ill, staying home if you are ill, covering your cough and sneeze, staying in overall good health. These are all generally good steps to take to reduce the risk of infection. Most disinfectants are effective against coronaviruses, and it's important to follow the product label of those disinfectants that are being used. At the Kern County Public Health Services Department, we are actively monitoring reports of the 2019 novel coronavirus around the globe. We're in regular communication with the California Department of Public Health, CDPH, and the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. We routinely share information with our local hospitals and healthcare providers regarding various communicable diseases, and the 2019 novel coronavirus is no different. We have issued an urgent health bulletin for all of our healthcare providers that summarizes the various recommendations and guidance documents that have been put out by CDPH and CDC. We have spoken with hospital infection control practitioners as well as various clinics. Our Emergency Medical Services Department has deployed a screening tool so that all of our dispatch centers can notify EMTs and paramedics if they need to be prepared for a patient who may be potentially infectious. While there remains risk of emerging infections here in Kern County at all times, particularly for the 2019 novel coronavirus, we do have some protective factors in our community. One of those big things is that our airports are not receiving travelers directly from Wuhan, China, and in particular, we don't receive direct flights from China at all. And we're also not a hub where we would expect a lot of travelers from affected areas to pass through. While we know hundreds of people pass through our community on a daily basis through routine ground travel, we do know that if there was an infectious person who traveled through here, it would have very limited contact, and that we wouldn't expect the novel virus to be well established in our community. We do not have a lot of industry overlap with Wuhan, and so we don't expect a lot of business-related travel to those areas. And we also have the one important benefit of our county continuing to have that small town feel. And even though we are a geographically and population-wise a very large county, we still do a very good job of communicating with each other. For example, our healthcare providers are very well connected to each other. We have a lot of care providers who work in multiple locations, and they bring their knowledge to those additional locations. And so we do know that we are able to communicate well to get this information out between us, and that our public health department is prepared to respond throughout the county. While this is a rapidly evolving situation with new recommendations and guidances coming out almost daily, at the Kern County Public Health Service Department, we continue to prepare ourselves and our community to respond effectively against any infectious disease that may come to our community. I'm happy to answer questions if you have any at this time.
Excellent presentation. Thank you. You're quite talented. Mike?
Thank you, Kimberly, right?
Yes, sir.
For your presentation. Can you tell me if you know anything about the danger or precautions that we should take if we are flying through international airports?
Certainly. Right now, in particular, the Centers for Disease Control has issued what they call a level 3 travel alert for Hubei province, which is where Wuhan city is. And that level 3 basically is a recommendation for avoiding non-essential travel to that area. They've also put out a level 2 travel alert for all travel to China, which is to practice enhanced precautions. And what those recommendations are basically to be cautious when you're traveling and knowing that there is an ongoing outbreak in the area, to take steps to protect yourself from potential exposure, things like avoiding people who are sick, particularly for 2019 novel coronavirus. Some of the advice is also to avoid animal markets or contact with both live and dead animals, because we're not quite sure at this point in time exactly where this coronavirus emerged. So that's some of the recommendations. At this time, the World Health Organization has not yet declared a pandemic of global concern. They are continuing to watch it, so they haven't made recommendations for general international travel. We would always recommend that people stay up to date, to check the CDC webpage about travel alerts, so that wherever you're going, to take precautions. All of the measures recommended for avoiding, general germs apply in this situation, to just always be washing your hands, making sure that you have the availability of soap and water, and if not alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Respiratory secretions, are little droplets, and so avoiding touching your face and things like that are also a good way to try to avoid all types of infections. But right now they don't have specific recommendations for general travel abroad.
So what I'm concerned about or if you can answer is, are people leaving that region of the world and coming towards us, or is their exit from that region controlled so that we don't have to worry about them getting on the plane with us?
Currently, actually, in China, they have implemented what they're calling a travel ban from Wuhan. So they have stopped all flights, buses, trains, and public transportation coming out of the city. It's a city of about 11 million people, so it's a large city. And so they have, China is also trying to reduce the spread throughout the entire country. So they have instituted limitations on travel from that area. The Centers for Disease Control, prior to China starting this travel restriction, has been actively monitoring flights that are coming from Wuhan and other parts of China. They call it broken itineraries, where people might travel. You might be doing a whole world tour, and so you may have left that area and are now in other foreign countries, but are still going to be coming back to the U.S. in coming weeks. And so they are still continuing to monitor those persons who are returning at the international airports. And so, there's several places where people are being evaluated for illness before they get on the plane, leaving China, once they arrive in the U.S., and then those persons who have arrived who have no symptoms, we are also educating, providing information so that if they do become sick in a few days, that they'll know who to contact, what kind of symptoms to watch out for, and that we are all also expecting that they will soon be alerting local health departments when there are persons returning from areas, so that we can continue to monitor them and make sure that they aren't ill, and provide them any support they might need.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Mick Gleason.
Madam Chair. Matt.
Yes, Yes, sir.
Quick second. What's our communication plan? We're keeping the community abreast of this virus.
So the communication plan is actually being written now. It'll be finalized today. It involves multiple phases. Kim has talked about how we've reached out to our medical providers and our EMS system. What is not mentioned yet is how we get this word out to other groups, schools, first responders, other organizations. So that is going to be completed today. And it is intended to give information that's relevant to those groups and timely. As Kim has indicated, this is changing rapidly. She's in the lobby actually on a conference call trying to get the most up-to-date stuff just now. So she hung up to come in and talk to us, but it's evolving. So unfortunately, this is not the first time we've done this with West Nile virus and H1N1. We have a good plan, but the common sense measures that Kim has mentioned is important to understand that this is getting a lot of attention. We have some technology now that can identify diseases worldwide where we didn't have before. But in most cases, for healthy people, this presents a limited risk for us. And we'll continue to give updates to the board.
Thanks, Matt. Good job.
Yep.
Any other questions from the board? Thank you so much for keeping us up to date. I assume you'll be back again, as there is a lot of worry about this. I'm hearing about it in many, many places. So I imagine these questions will continue to emerge, as you know how it goes, Matt. Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask our planning director, Lorelei Oviatt, to please come forward for a presentation on our general plan website, which I think is so cool, by the way. Welcome to the 21st century, Kern County.
Thank you. I'm here today with Craig Murphy, Assistant Director, who's leading the general plan team. We have already had some working groups. This is an opportunity for us to let your board know, as well as the public, how they can get involved in this very important project. And I'm now going to turn it over to Mr. Murphy.
Thank you, Ms. Oviatt, Chair Perez, members of the board. We have actively started working on our general plan update. We've been doing that for a little over a year. We're kind of in the middle stage of our process. This is the stage where we are starting to reach out more to our community members. And so approximately 2 weeks ago, we launched our new website, www.kern2040.com. Overall, it's intended to be a one-stop shop for all things that are related to the processing of the Kern County 2040 General Plan Update. It will be continually maintained as we're going through this process. It will serve as a resource that contains a number of materials, both in general, in terms of what is a general plan, why do we do it, why do we have it, to materials that we are preparing specifically for our update. Additionally, it's a communication tool. It will be an opportunity for us to directly work with and communicate with our community. As part of this website, we have an email contact list. If anybody wants to get on our website and be on our mailing list, they can contact us through this contact list. Additionally, there is an opportunity for people to provide comments. They can leave their name, provide a specific comment to the planning department regarding the general plan or whatever process we may be going through. If they have something that's more than 1,000 characters, we have an email address, generalplanupdate@kerncounty.com, that people would be able to provide specific documentation. And again, it will go directly to the staff that is working on this update. As part of this overall process and as part of the launching of this website, we created a branding logo specifically for the Kern County 2040 General Plan. A better image of it, I believe, is right there. So this branding logo will appear on any materials that the department produces related to the Kern 2040 General Plan Update, so that anybody that sees an agenda, sees, again, any document related to this, it will have this logo on it. Additionally, we have developed, and working with our consultant, these business cards. I will be delivering a stack to each of your offices later on today. These business cards have our website. In addition, they have a barcode to where if people access that information using a barcode, they can scan the code and it will take it directly onto their phone. Some of the other things, just to make sure the community is aware of here real quick, is for our Spanish speakers, this website, under select language, they can specifically turn the website into Spanish. Now, this is a direct translation, so it has been termed to me as rough in that it directly translates the words. That doesn't always necessarily translate into meaning. So anything that is produced by staff in terms of materials, agendas, any flyers that are prepared, we will actually have someone directly translate that. So not only do we get the translation, but we get the meaning behind that translation. And then finally, down here at the bottom corner is an additional tool to help with accessibility. So this tool can help make the text bigger if readers need it. It allows changing of the contrast if needed, because you're having trouble, or the readers may be having trouble with the words as they are on there, and many other tools. It allows it to read the text. So this website is also intended to help make sure that we're getting as much information out to the people that need it, and then also to where they can understand it. So that's overall summary of the website, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Wow, that is excellent. Thank you, thank you. Very, very exciting. Director Oviatt, you have some thoughts?
We just appreciate that the public is very excited. We've had our first issue work groups. We expect to be at your board. We will be speaking to the chair this year about a joint planning commission board workday sometime in November, where we'll be bringing the general plan framework. This, as you know, and as the public needs to know, is the future of economic growth. How do we attract businesses? How do we create jobs? How do we provide more revenue for your board to be able to accomplish the goals that you want? And how do we prepare ourselves for the future of 2040? Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for your hard work and for the accessibility to so many people in this community. It's striking and noteworthy. Thank you. Colleagues, anything? Okay, thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate you. Our planning department, of course, is bar none. I sincerely believe that. Okay, moving along to item 12. No, I'm sorry. Moving along to item 20 is a report on the results of the 2019 Kern County CARES Canned Food Drive. And I understand Ms. Murphy is here and has been waiting patiently through a rather long meeting. And I appreciate it and all the good vibes you put into the world in this process. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair and members of the board. I'm Dina Murphy, your Department Head for Human Services, and so honored for the 5th year to get to lead this effort. And I'm joined by Glenn Ephraim, who is the Executive Director of Gleaners, with only 2 employees and all the rest volunteers, which constantly blows me away. When I started this process, getting to be the chair 5 years ago, we were at 28,000 pounds. Last year, we were a little over 83,000 pounds, and we challenged ourselves to reach 100,000 pounds. And I couldn't be more proud than to tell you our departments came together, 23 of them participating, and made over 153,000 pounds to serve those who are in need of meals. So that's incredible. We blew it out of the water big time. I wanted to share just a couple of the statistics in the other departments. Our farm and home advisory partners were #1 in pounds per employee at 202 pounds per employee. Our auditor controllers were the largest money earners at $2,473. And the most poundage collected was through Human Services at 114,000 pounds. And then Doug Landon, your retired department head, held his annual golf tournament, raising $8,552 for a cumulative total in dollars of $17,708 within the county, and then the 117,000 pounds. And that's where we come up with our little better than 153,000 pounds. And as Glenn will share with you, this goes throughout the county. In fact, Doug Landon is one of the drivers out to the senior centers, and they tell us that on the days the food is coming, the seniors come out to get food, and it's their time to get out of seclusion and come socialize, very healthy for them, and they have an increased population on those days. But Glenn could tell you just a little more of the inner workings, but a privilege to be able to do this, and thank you so much. And Glenn, I'll turn to you.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, Madam Chair and Board. It's an honor to be here again. Time sure does fly. We've been at this we're on our 34th year, and one of the things that I'm very proud of is whenever I look in the attachment to see the business before the board is the notation fiscal impact 0. But the impact to the county is tremendous. The generosity of the staff throughout all the county departments is what makes this possible. It has grown every year, and certainly through fantastic leadership. Dina mentioned that we do senior SAC that Doug's a big part of. We have 25 locations throughout the entire county that we deliver to twice a month. So that's 50 deliveries just for seniors. And then throughout the working week, we provide for thousands of families every week. And it's, I've always likened this a little bit to Groundhog Day. We do it, we go to bed, and we get up and we do it again. And the faces change, some of the circumstances change, but the need, it continues to grow. Year over year, from 17 to 18, we saw a 50,000 pound increase, and 18 to 19, yet again, another 50,000 pounds. And it's something that we take very seriously and we embrace, but we're going to keep grinding and keep working. We don't do it for the money. We do it for the good it helps the county. And we appreciate all the support from the board and certainly from the staff. Thank you.
Well, thank you for your spirit of excellence in what you're doing and in true service and in love for this community. It is really the best of us when we do such things.
Thank you.
And thank you. I so appreciate you. And Dina, thank you for always taking this big task on with such a big heart, too, in the process. So thank you. Thank you both. Are there any members of the public that would like to comment on this item? Mr. Fluhart, step up, please, and state your name for the record.
David Fluhart, Havelock, 1st District. I really appreciate Mrs. Murphy over there. I got a whole bunch on my notes over here, but I'm going to skip them. But one thing to beat her record this year for next year is going to be really tough. I mean, I don't know how she's going to do it. So analyzing the situation, I looked on the back of the paper, and there's a small little graph of all different departments and everything, and it's really small writing because she wouldn't want to make anybody feel bad, so I got to put on a second pair of glasses. And I see that the fire department, probation department, and sheriff's department has got an average of 0. Okay, and I'm not just wham bashing them off the side. I've talked to them before coming up here, talked to them before the meeting and everything, and hopefully they kick in a little bit more next year so that they can beat this year, because this year was so good. I don't know how they're going to improve on it, and they're going to, you know, those 3 departments are going to have to put in a little bit, and I know they do a lot already. I know, you know, fire department, sheriff's, probation. I don't know so much about probation, but I know about the sheriff's department and the fire department. I love those people. I mean, you know what this world would be like without them. So I stick up for them, but Marshall, you gotta do something. Get these guys to throw in just a buck, and that would beat 2 different departments and tie with 3 other departments. And I'm just hoping that you improve next year, Mrs. Murphy, and that's gonna be tough. And I want to say good job and thank you. And I don't know. Hopefully you guys can poke them too, you know,
It's a good
sheriffs
goal.
and fires and whatnot. Okay, I said my piece, and there's a clip right there. It's bothering me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fluhart. Okay, well, that brings us to the end of our meeting today. But before we close out, I do need a motion to receive and file the report.
That motion, and congratulations, Glenn and Dina, great job.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Excellent. That brings us officially to the end. We're going to adjourn to closed session and be back at 2. This time I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Supervisor Couch. Without objection, so ordered.